Now the latest from Brexit. It's a crucial day for British Prime Minister Theresa May. The House of Commons will vote on May's Brexit Plan B. The lawmakers will also vote on a series of alternatives, the solutions they've suggested. Theresa May has informed her cabinet that she will ask the EU to reopen the withdrawal agreement. Not just that, she's determined to seek legally binding changes to the Irish backstop. Theresa May's comments have come even as the European Union rejected the idea of renegotiating Brexit. They do not want to revise this deal.
Deal that sets us on course for a bright future. That's what I believe this House wants. It's what this government wants, it's what I want, and it is what the British people want. And today, we have the chance to show the European Union what it will take to get a deal through this House of Commons.
So there are 3 amendments that will be debated today. The first one seeks legal changes to the issue of the Irish backstop. Senior Conservative leader Graham Brady has proposed to vote for an alternative to the backstop, but there are no finer details on his proposal just yet. Theresa May has backed this amendment. She believes a favourable vote on the amendment will help her in the talks with the European Union. A majority of the Conservative pro-Brexiteers are opposed to a no-deal scenario.
And I think there's much less appetite to have a no-deal scenario. So I think that it's in everybody's interest that we come to an agreement that allows the United Kingdom to leave the European Union, but with minimal disruption on both sides.
No, I've always been in favour of getting a deal, but no deal's nothing to be frightened of. Other members of the party are more frightened of no deal, and if we can have some unity, I think that is a good thing and would be in the national interest.
Senior Conservative lawmakers Jacob Rees-Mogg and former Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson have demanded that Theresa May should reopen the issue of the Irish backstop. The Prime Minister is expected to talk to EU leaders after the House of Commons vote today. There is another amendment that the Labour Party is looking at with interest. Labour Party is likely to back the so-called Cooper Amendment. It aims to extend the Article 50 negotiating period. This will mean that the Brexit deadline can be extended by 9 months if the Parliament does not agree on an exit plan by the 13th of February. A positive result on Cooper Amendment would help the Labour Party to wrest control from Theresa May as well as eliminate the chances of a catastrophic no-deal Brexit. But the Conservatives have issued a whip against this amendment. There is another crucial amendment before the House of Commons drafted by a Conservative and a Labour senior leader. This amendment seeks to prevent Brexit altogether. So where do things stand for Theresa May? If the Parliament does not reach an agreement on a Brexit deal till the 13th of February, Theresa May is likely to reopen discussions on Brexit. After 18 months of painful negotiations, Theresa May and the European Union had agreed on a plan for the Irish backstop, but now they're back to square one, it seems. The United Kingdom is still in a Brexit flux. There is no consensus on crucial issues and the no-deal scenario is not ruled out till now. The possibility of a no-deal Brexit, in fact, has caused concerns for people as well as businesses. The shadow of a no-deal Brexit and the Irish backstop loom large on Prime Minister May, even as she seeks an approval for her Plan B. For more on this, we have Wion correspondent Natalie Powell with us from London. Natalie, how are things shaping? Does the debate hold any clues to which way this is going? Is it inching closer to a no-deal Brexit scenario?
Well, of course, that's one of the things we're likely to find out about following the day-long of debates that we're experiencing at the moment with MPs in Parliament. They are debating some 7 amendments that have been tabled and then chosen by the Speaker of the House of Commons. Amendments 2, of course, the original Brexit deal that Theresa May failed to pass through the House of Commons. Now, the UK government has backed one of the amendments, which is all about reopening negotiations surrounding the Irish border backstop issue, which we know has been a real sticking point throughout this Brexit negotiation period, and certainly MPs are not very happy with the backstop solution that has been proposed. What this amendment is doing, though, is proposing alternative arrangements. What they will look like, however, will need to be debated by MPs, and possibly then the UK Prime Minister will be able to go back to Brussels, try to reopen that EU withdrawal agreement, which all EU member states have signed off on, so that's clearly not going to be a very popular move, but to try to get some clarity on that, some more assurances on that, so that MPs in the UK Parliament would potentially vote through another deal. But as you said, the date of leaving the EU is drawing ever closer. That's the 29th of March. Of course, the default position is a no deal, and what we're seeing from some of these amendments are ways to try to avoid that no deal from taking place. But a lot of negotiations are expected, and certainly as that date creeps ever closer, if there is no solution or no Brexit deal decided and signed off on by UK Parliament, then certainly the UK could well be facing a no-deal exit from the European Union.
So we've seen endless debates, we've seen a barrage of news flashes coming out of the House of Commons, but it seems that all they're doing is a lot of talking and a lot of politics. What about the people of Britain? Are they tired? Has the Brexit fatigue set in even before Brexit begins?
I think the Brexit fatigue possibly set in some time back, of course. We've been hearing about that here in the UK for the past 2 years, with the negotiations taking place, of course. The UK Prime Minister herself says that she believes that the people of Britain simply want a deal to be done. And of course there are warnings about what a no-deal scenario would look like, that it could be damaging to the UK in a number of ways, but equally it could also be fairly damaging to EU member states as well. So there is a lot of uncertainty in the UK at the moment about what it is that is going to happen. Of course, this is a very divided country over the subject of Brexit. The vote itself, the referendum results itself, almost split down the middle, 52% voting to leave, 48% voting to remain, of course. So this was always going to be a very difficult situation to try to tread those two paths, given that the results were so close, really. And I think what we are seeing is a lot of people are quite nervous about what the future may hold, but also wondering what is actually going to happen with this stalemate that appears to be taking place in the British Parliament.
Right, Natalie Powell, thanks very much for joining us. The vote slated for later today. Of course, we'll be tracking the story coming out of London.